Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. This video we're going to break down how to do the new Prophecy Dungeon in Season of Arrivals. So let's get into it. Before we start, just know I'm going to list some generic tips and tricks at the end of this video if you need any help. I will also link a video with all the secret chests once they are found, which I will then create. So far I know of two. There's one in the Wastelands and there's one on Rainbow Road. You can find those probably just by googling them now if you can't wait. Also, my team completed this on day 1 at light level 1020, so it's kind of harder, so some tips might be for that harder side of the dungeon. The dungeon recommends power level 1040 and scales from there. To select the dungeon, you need to go to the tower. You can talk to the Drifter to get some background info, but in short, we're going to be asking the 9 a question about the darkness. So once you load into the dungeon, you will be on that Drifter ship, and you'll take that portal McThingy McBob into the dungeon. This dungeon's theme is fitting with where the story is going. It's light versus dark. Throughout the dungeon, you need to stay aware of where you are standing. Are you in the light or are you standing in the shadows? You can tell by the border color around the bottom part of your screen. It'll have either a light effect like this or a dark effect like this. These first room mechanics will teach you for the rest of the raid. What you need to do is near the end door you'll see 2 bowls. One will have a light spire and one will have a dark spire. You must dunk that corresponding color of a mote. So, how do you get motes? The enemy type Night Echo is the only enemy that drops motes. Each one will drop 3 motes, and you need 5 to form a dunkable mote. Once you get 5, you will no longer be able to shoot or use super or any of that jazz without losing your mote. So stand in the shadow to get the dark buff and kill an Echo. This will drop 3 dark motes. Pick them up, and then create another set of dark motes. Remember, it depends on where you are standing, not the enemy. Have the same person pick up those motes. They will now be holding that dark mote, in which they will go to the dark bowl and use the shoot/fire button, and it will cleanse that bowl. Do the same thing to the light bowl, and the door will open, progressing to another room with different shading. This room requires RTX on. I'm trolling, there's no RTX. So this room is no different. It's the exact same thing with different shadings. Cleanse the bowls, the door will open, and now you will see the Kell Echo boss. Follow it up and proceed to the next encounter. If you continue forward, it's just a dead end. It might be a secret later, I don't know. This next encounter is a mini boss fight. Here you have a boss shielded, and to start DPS phase, you must dunk all 4 bowls of light and dark in the center. There should be 2 bowls of each, and once completed, the boss shield will come down for a short period of time. The only thing to know during this phase is that the light in the room will switch. After you finish and kill the boss, all players need to stand in the center sand pit to enter the next encounter, the Wastelands. The Wastelands is huge. There's one hidden chest, as I mentioned before, which I will link my video. Otherwise, the encounter proceeds as following. You need to follow Tolan. He will go to one of the glowing rings where there's blights. Kill everything there, including the blights, and Tolan will leave to another ring where you will follow him and kill everything again. Once you have done this enough, he will go to the exit where there's a purple streak of a doorway. It's opposite usually of where you came in. Proceed through to enter the cube room. The cube room is trippy. You'll be flipping the room around and following Tolan. What you want to do is locate Tolan. If he is on a wall, you need to dunk whatever bowl color is also on that wall side or underneath him. Once you dunk that color, the center will allow you to flip to that side. Everyone stands in the center and the room will flip to that side, and Tolan will then go to another side. Look for him again and repeat for what I believe was all sides of the cube, or 6 times. If he is on the ceiling and not a wall, just choose any side to dunk on, and then he will be on the wall for you to see once you flip. Once you have done each side, 2 taken Centurions will spawn. Just kill them and the encounter is over. Proceed above the chest to go back to the Wastelands, where you will follow the boss to Rainbow Road. Here is a massive sparrow encounter. There are diamond rooms with enemies, but their importance doesn't really appear relevant yet. One diamond room at the very end has a secret chest, which I mentioned before, and I will link my video once I get it out. Otherwise, just proceed down the ribbons or through the diamond jumping platforms until you get to the end, which you will get sucked up into the final room. Proceed up the stairs and forward to get to the boss room. The boss room is hectic. You have 3 bosses in each corner that all need to be cleansed by their corresponding color in front of them. They can all be light or dark or a mix. I recommend choosing the pillar on the side that has a hole in it, like this. This allows you to shoot out of it while having a nice cover. The first wave will spawn Scions and 2 Echo Knights. Scions need to die always or they just keep duplicating. Then focus on the Knights. Try to get both of one color for a side and cleanse that side like before. Once that side is cleansed, the boss will leave and an ogre will be in that place. Kill it instantly. Now the room gets easier because one less boss is shooting at you. Take your time clearing the Scions and create another moat for the other remaining colors. Once you have done each side, the center will allow you to sync and enter the damage phase. All players need to be there, so get there immediately after dunking to ditch the remaining adds in the ogre. The boss fight consists of Kell Echo teleporting back while trying to send you back through a portal. The problem is you have a dark entropy debuff, and it'll start climbing if you're not within the ring around the boss. There's a faint white fog ring around the boss, and not being in it increases your dark entropy, and it will kill you after hitting 10 for a couple seconds. But being within the fog line lowers your dark entropy, and if you're trying to run towards the boss, he'll try to send a portal at you to send you back, so it'll potentially kill you if your dark entropy is too high. What I recommend here is to start the DPS phase by crouching just within the fog line, like this. This will allow you to get a lot of DPS off, while the portal will not hit you. After this, take out the snipers first, and push up your way to dodging the portals, and keep a nice distance between the boss and you, just where you're just within the dark entropy fog line. He gets to the end where he will teleport back to the boss room, and you will have to take the sync portal back into the boss room. I don't believe that there's a white mechanic here, but you could wait for super. We did this a couple times where we waited maybe a minute just to make sure we had super before going back into the boss room. After you go back, you're going to be in a different orientation of the boss room. Proceed like before, and remember that the first part is the hardest, so use your supers there. Once one of the bosses is dead, the room gets easier, so always try to get the first one dead as fast as possible by using a super. So repeat this until you get the boss damage phase, and then you finally get to kill the boss there. You will then be teleported to the chest room to claim your loot and hear the answer to your question. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to talk some real quick tips if you're interested, so stick around for that. I'm going to let some gameplay run as I talk of this, so let's get started. Tip 1. Anarchy is your best friend. This gun allows you to mess with the shading in the room. Not in the light and need light motes? Tag the knight with Anarchy and run over into the light. Let the Anarchy kill him, and then run back to pick up the light motes. Don't want to be teleported by the boss? Just tag him with Anarchy, and take pop shots once in a while. This gun is probably the best heavy for this whole dungeon, and using it correctly can definitely make the fight easier. Tip 2. Taken mods. This whole raid is taken, so Taken armaments, Taken barrier will make the dungeon way easier. Taken armaments will allow you to use Anarchy as a primary weapon, and the barrier will reduce all damage throughout the whole dungeon. It's busted. Tip 3. Minor, major, boss, and concussive dampeners. These all reduce damage, and the concussive dampeners reduce the fire damage you take from the knights, which probably hurts the most. These mods are a must-have if you're low light. Last tip, if you're going to dunk, either have a healing nade in place, or know your ghost location. In the cube room and the boss room where the rooms flip, the respawn point is fixed. In other words, your ghost will always be in the same location when you die. This changes with the orientation of the room, but knowing this location can really help if you just want to go on a suicide mission to dunk and have someone waiting to res you. This is super helpful if the res is in the center of the room where you're going to teleport anyway. And if it's your last moat, you can dunk it, die, and then have your teammate res you to get teleported instantly. It's very helpful for the boss phase. If you stayed to the end of the video, thank you. I appreciate the support, and more content will be coming soon, so subscribe if that interests you. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Later, gamers. Yes. He's gonna teleport us.
Yeah.
Oh!